Hi everyone, this is Veronica from Solver Law Firm, and in this video we will cover related account suspensions. I will answer some questions from Amazon seller forums regarding this topic, and we will find out what we should do when we get suspended for related accounts and what are the reasons for this type of suspension. So, starting from the very beginning, the first question which we have found was, what is related account suspension at all, and can you have more than one seller account? Yes, you can have more than one seller account if your business needs require that. For example, if you have more than one brand, or if you have different categories of products which you would like to divide into different accounts. So yes, it is allowed. However, it does not mean that if one of your accounts would get banned, it will not cause the related account suspension, because it will. This is the core reason for the related account suspension. It's the suspension of the account which is related to yours. It's that simple. So for example, you have two different accounts and one of them gets banned for intellectual property complaints. And between these two accounts, you have, for example, the same credit card information and the same business address. This will get the second account suspended for the related accounts issue. In this case, you have two ways to reinstate your account. The first one is to reinstate the account which was suspended for intellectual property complaints, and this will get your second account automatically reinstated. The second way is to appeal the related account suspension on your second account, but in this case, you have to prove that you do not have any connection to the first account. But when these two accounts belong to you, it's almost impossible to prove. So you'd rather reinstate the first account, and then you'll get your second one reinstated as well. The second question we saw was, what connections between accounts may result in related account suspension? These connections are pretty obvious. The strongest ones are the email address. For example, if you have a user permission to your second account from your first one, it's the credit card information, it's the business address, it's also bank account information and IP address. IP address is, it was like not the strongest connection in past, but now it's considered to be one of the strongest. How do you get the IP connection? For example, you are in a cafe and you and I don't know, 10 other people use the same Wi-Fi, and some of them is also the seller from Amazon. That's how your account becomes related to his, and when his account gets suspended, it will get your account suspended as well. Another strong factor is the brand registry. If you share your brand registry among different accounts, this type of connection is also considered to be the strong one, and it will get your account suspended if one of those was suspended for intellectual property complaints, authenticity complaints, or anything else. There are also connections which are not that strong, but they also have to be mentioned. One of them is when you sell the same ASINs on different accounts. And the same applies to selling the same category of products on different accounts. This relation or connection will not be considered to be the reason for the related account suspension, but if you have any other connections, for example, IP address or business address, and with that you also have connection by ASINs or product category, this will lead to your related account suspension. The third question is, I was definitely not connected in any way. This is the mistake. How should I resolve this issue then? So the first thing you have to understand is that In 99.9% of related account suspensions, there are actually reasons for this suspension. Maybe you have just not found out them yet, but there are no mistakes from Amazon's side, almost at all, almost never they make any mistakes in this case. So you have to conduct a deeper investigation into your account to make sure that there are no connections at all. And only if you find out that there are really no connections at all, not a single one, only in this case you have to write to Amazon that there was a mistake, please reinstate my account. I do not have any other accounts and I'm not related to anyone. Let's move to the question number 4. Okay, I seem to have actually found the connections that got me connected. How can I prove that I do not own the linked account? So the first thing you have to make is to create the plan of action. The plan of action which would state all the factors which led to the related account suspension and all the actions from your side which you did to resolve this issue, to divide these accounts, to make them separate in all the aspects. The second step for you in this regard would be to send the documents to Amazon to prove that yes, you had that connection, but now you don't have it anymore. For example, it can be the employment contract and the termination agreement between you and that employee, or I don't know, maybe agreement with some fulfillment center and your termination agreement with that fulfillment center. This will show Amazon that you do not have any relation to that seller account which was connected to you by some employee or any fulfillment center. And the last question is, what are the most important parts to include into your plan of action when you would like to reinstate your account from the related account suspension? The first one is to provide the details for the related account suspension. So you have to not only mention the actual factors which led to the related account suspension, but also the reason for this relation to appear between your account and the other one. The second important step is to not only include the explanation for the reasons for your related account suspension, but also write about the actions you took to break those relations and how these relations would not ever appear again in your seller account. Oh, that's it for today about the related account suspension issues. I hope this information was useful for you. It was Veronica from Solver Law Firm, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.